Hey everybody, it is 2:40 p.m. Central Time on Sunday, August 21st, 2016. And this isn't really an earthquake update as opposed to just an update to let you guys know there's stuff that's coming across my news feed right now that's a little strange. You guys haven't heard, Germany just announced, and this is breaking like a couple hours ago, Germany just announced that they're going to require all of their citizens to keep a stockpile, a 10-day stockpile at least, of food and water, and they're not saying what for. Obviously, I mean, it's according to the stories, they're saying so people can temporarily take care of themselves in case of an attack, or an armed attack, or a natural disaster. And this is for real. This isn't one of these, online stories that's just, blown out of proportion. It's, all the articles are pretty much saying the same thing. For the first time since the end of the Cold War, the German government is telling its citizens to stockpile food and water in case of an attack or catastrophe. And 10 days. Now, the United States tells you to have 3 days supply of food and water. 3 days. And as you guys know, Katrina, and with the way the hurricanes happened, and 3 days supply is like nothing. Now, we were called fearmongers for telling people to be prepared and to have supplies and to be ready. We got publicly criticized by, I would say, sock puppets that are paid for by our own government. Okay? Well, now here we are, and now Germany is making it a rule that their citizens must have a 10-day supply of food and water. So, be aware that I don't know why. Again, guys, Germany not exactly earthquake prone. You know what I mean? I mean, we're talking about Switzerland showing activity. I mean, they could be looking at a large earthquake coming. They could. We'll have to look into that tonight. But, I'm just going to tell my U.S. viewers, guys, have a supply of food. I've got more than a 10-day supply. I've got a 60-day supply for my wife and I. So, and I bought prepackaged, not meals ready to eat. Those are bad for you. I've got all natural, freeze-dried products ready to go in boxes in case I got to throw them in a car and get the hell out. I've got my bug-out bag, which is a huge backpack full of all survival gear. Got another backpack my wife can carry, clothes and stuff like that. You got to have a plan and be ready to go. You have to be mobile, and you also have to have a shelter-in-place plan. So in case you can't go mobile, something prevents you from getting out of your house. Well, that's a plan you have to have. And you also have to have a plan for if you are going to be, whether you're stuck in your house or whether you're out of your house. You got to have a plan for both. And it has to incorporate food, water, transportations, communications, and self-defense. Those are the things, there are additional things than just food and water. You have to have food and water, but you have to have a mean to protect that food and water from other people who don't have food and water. Okay? And it will be a protection situation going on if there is somebody who doesn't have life-saving water and you have a small amount, and you live in an area like California, where there's no rain happening, where it's dead dry, and your water taps go off, and Big Brother's going to come help you in like a couple weeks, well, you're going to be fighting for resources then. And guess what? The guy down the road who is a zombie and has no problem watching crazy TV and doing all the stupid stuff and not preparing will be going to look for water. And they will be coming to every single house down the road to make sure, see if anybody's there. Break in, cut the water lines, there you go. You got water for yourself, right? Think about it, stored water and water lines in houses. Well, that'll be the first thing that people want to come in and start cutting the lines and get the water out of your house. And they'll want to see if you've got water to spare. And if you don't, well, then they're going to either do something to you to get it or tell other people about it, and then they're all going to come and get it. It won't just be one person, it'll be like 20 people that surround your house. And you might be able to fight off one or two. But when you think about, the whole neighborhood doesn't have water, and then they get wind that you're holed up in your house with stockpiles of water, well, guess what? Yeah. So you got to have a plan. You got to think about this stuff. It's not fear-mongering. Now, the whole country of Germany is preparing for 10 days worth of disasters. That means you guys need to be prepared for 10 days worth of disaster or more. And I might have to make a video to show you what I've got in my bug out bag, but it's stuff that, like a compass for navigation, a Faraday flashlight for shaking up so I don't have to have a whole bunch of batteries. Just little things like that can make a huge difference. Multi-tool kits, ways of communication, walkie-talkies, so you can talk to somebody at a distance. Right? So, I'll at some point in the next couple days, I'll get out my bug out stuff and just show you what I've got ready to go for myself and my wife, and you guys can start to make appropriate plans like that. I mean, to have a 10-day supply of water, I mean, that's a fair amount of water, actually, believe it or not. It's several cases. So you would need several cases. And we're not talking about showering. We're just talking about drinking. So if you want to take into account that you might need to bathe yourself or clean yourself, well, then you need to have first aid. You need to have some extra water for washing. Right? Jugs of water, like old milk jugs that you save up. I mean, that kind of stuff. So much love, much love. Just thought I'd give you a heads up. I just read the story and I'm like, oh God, what's going on? You know, I mean, you don't get that kind of news coming out unless something's going down or ready to go down. Because, you know, they try to avoid panic and try to avoid giving people warnings, at least here in the States. Over in Europe, they might actually be for real. But here in the States, they tell you, oh, you just need a 3-day supply. No. You need a month's supply, guys. And you need to have it well hidden, and you need to have a way to protect it, and yourself, and your family and loved ones. Cheers.